You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 398 of Central and his favorite podcast. Jeremiah Morrell here, joined by executive video producer, audio engineer, and all-around good guy, Mr. Zach Burcham.
Good evening.
Mr. Bones is here at the desk, here to report on UPS issues with the troopers.
I can't be a good guy.
Bones is here to report on, of course he's a good guy. He quit smoking, so it's check local listings on how if you're a patron, you understand he quit smoking most of the time.
Half the time.
Shoots 36 holes of golf a day now, though. That's the crew. Big show planned today. No guests, mercifully no guests. We've had enough of those lately. You just get us. We're going to talk about today being a national holiday, Juneteenth. Going to try to explain it and understand it because, believe it or not, we're kind of ignorant. They didn't teach about it when we were kids in school. It wasn't a holiday till 2021. Got a storm report. Bones is going to tell us his experience. Zach had a special one, and I was smart and stayed home. Indiana's the first state to allow tolling on any interstate. Going to hear about that. There was a trooper arrested for doing nefarious things with boxes. And then we got a bunch of sports. Got the Indiana Pacers playing tonight in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The Stanley Cup trophy is in the happiest season of the year. IndyCar's racing at Road America this weekend. And there was a Mexico incident. We're going to get into all that. If that sounds interesting, stick around. If it doesn't, you downloaded it. That's all we cared. We wanted you to download the podcast. You got this far.
Yep.
The hell with it.
Have a good weekend.
Enjoy the rest of your life. But download next week, too. This show's about our lives in rural Indiana. We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we provoke you, other times we make you laugh, but hopefully you'll always learn something new. Those are the official notes. Are we going to talk about that stuff? Probably.
Who cares?
Add more? Likely. Mr. Bones?
Yes.
Got to say thanks to some people.
Yes, we do. To myself?
Yes.
Thank you,
Me,
Matt.
myself, and I?
Yes. We have Jonathan Phillips over there at Wetzel Ford in Richmond, Indiana, looking to sell us a new Expedition so we can take all our woke people with us. Then we got Blake Reese over at Varsity Outfitters.
Blake's is working on something real special for us.
Oh, he is?
He is.
Real special.
Real special. Real fancy like.
Real fancy.
Real fancy. I'm excited about it.
We got Thomas Oakes over at Walnut Ridge RV.
I was talking to Tommy today. He's been doing really well selling campers. I think mostly because of the Boss Hog bump.
Very good.
But Newcastle's been leaning into the hideouts. He wants to sell some Brinkleys. He said, you got to get some Brinkleys sold.
Okay.
So I said, man, it's tough to sell Vipers in a neon town, but good luck.
Yeah, those are nice rigs. So I ran by one today. There's one up at Morrell Park.
So go see Tommy, make him happy. Look at a Brinkley, and then just go buy whatever the hell you want. They'll take a sale.
Tell you what, here's the order of events. You go out to Thomas Oakes, find your camper. This is the correct order of operations. Pick out your favorite camper, and then
you get your tow.
Then you go to Wetzel Ford and you buy the truck that will tow the camper. Don't get the truck first, because then you'll end up with a camper you can't tow. Go pick your camper up, Thomas Oakes, and then go out and visit John and pick up your Ford.
And then when you start your content creator page, because now you're a vlogger with your camper and your truck, Varsity Outfitters will make all your swag for your podcast.
Yeah. I was just watching some of that
for your YouTube channel.
And on your YouTube channel, in case you have like an old bike that needs to be restored and you want to do some bogging on the bike, Pops Recycle will help you out tremendously in that category.
And say you crash the bike really hard.
You want your loved ones to take care of you. Mom,
jeez, that took a dark turn. Took a very dark turn.
You had a big shunt. Morrell Monument Cleaning, right down there in Rush County.
She'll make you shine.
Give Joyce a call and she'll polish things right up. right?
It's real nice, Clark.
Yeah. Make sure you have enough life insurance to pay for that tombstone cleaning.
Get the lifetime program, right?
Yeah.
So
Did she have a subscription plan? We should talk about that. Yeah. Be good.
Bring her in.
Pay in advance.
It's guaranteed as long as she is.
Get the little like Clancy sticker on your tombstone. She knows to come by your prepaid.
Ron Milford's in the chat asking about the weather. Look, man, you're probably a patron. You got the show notes. You know, you're gonna get some news and weather here in a minute. So thank you to the patrons very much. You join at any level, you get the show notes. You get to join us in the super secret Facebook group and some other swag throughout the year, fun stuff. You get to interact with us. You get to see what snacks we had on the Patreon. Little picture of that sometimes. Maybe find out what bourbon Bones is pouring.
Is Mason still a member at like a really ridiculous rate?
I don't know. His credit card probably expired.
Yeah.
He probably left us in the dust.
He probably did.
Declined.
We should toss him out.
He was like a member for like $1.37 or something.
We'll take it.
It was some weird amount.
Look, it's going to be hot as hell. We need the air conditioning money.
Yeah.
We're going to make this place reasonable.
This has been the only air conditioned place I've been besides work the last couple of weeks. I do finally have it back in my house. I've been very thankful to all the Patreon members when I walk in here and it's not 85 degrees.
And it's reasonable.
Yes.
All right. That's it. This show would not exist with them. We are coming up rapidly on 400 episodes of the show. I can guarantee you wouldn't have made it to episode 20 without the patrons. So thank you guys very much for being a part of it. And they've all become, everybody that's part of the Patreon, it really has become a community and we're appreciative.
You guys
of
are
them.
like family.
They are. Some of them are family. And others, we might marry in. Who knows?
Yeah.
Today is the first time the show has happened on June 19th. June 19th is a federal holiday. Juneteenth. Meant you couldn't mail any. I checked the mail today. Did you guys make the mistake of checking your mail today?
Nope. My wife did. I know she saw the doorbell camera.
Yeah. Federal holiday. Has been since 2021. And much like with any new holiday, any new federal holiday, it always gets questioned and crapped on. I remember when I was a kid, there were still people that were mad as hell that we had Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Jeez.
Right? Because, it was, what the hell did that guy do?
That stuff is when I'll admit
This is going to be a hot.
I am born very much north of the Mason-Dixon, although we have like a lot of like people that moved up here. When I meet, and there are those people, I am floored that kind of thought process exists. But Jeremiah is not exaggerating. There are people that do not understand it. They'll call it something else.
Indiana is very much a northern state.
We are,
but the people are very southern.
We got a lot of Kentucky people up here,
which was a union state for the record.
Yeah, but they.
I think we have a lot of Arkansas people, Alabama.
They're like trans Southerners. They're like.
Don't say trans.
That's
a whole other.
I know. I use that very intentionally because they are born one thing, but they very much try to identify as something else.
They're born this way. Okay, they just can't help it.
So, Juneteenth is today, and I honestly was ignorant of it because it just happened. I wasn't in the world. I wasn't paying attention. If you are from Texas, it was a holiday that you probably celebrated and knew about. But it became a federal holiday in 2021, and it is celebrating. It's basically America's second Independence Day. So everybody knows about Abraham Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation, but the Emancipation Proclamation is a thought. It's not enforced. It doesn't mean anything. So during Reconstruction, there was this guy named Gordon Granger who was an Army officer. He was a general. Won the Battle of Chickamauga, which I think was in Tennessee, and the Battle of Chattanooga. Chickamauga might have been Georgia, and Chattanooga was Tennessee. So he issued General Order Number 3 in 1865 down in Galveston, which was the Gulf of Mexico at the time. Now I think it's the Gulf of America.
It's the Gulf of Mexico.
Down there in Texas, outside of Houston.
Gulf of America.
Hey, man, I'm just reporting the news as it is today, okay? Yeah. So down at the Gulf of Mexico in Galveston is where he was stationed, and he posted General Order Number 3, which enforced the Emancipation Proclamation. That happened on June 19th, 1865. And it was basically the date that everybody recognizes as the second Independence Day. So the Army was enforcing the fact that people are free. So General Order Number 3 says, the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. The connection heretofore existing between them becomes employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, and they will not be supported in idleness there or elsewhere. So you're free, but now they have to pay you, and that was where it started. So it became a federal holiday in 2021. Not all states recognize it now, but federally they do. So that meant no mail. Banking was non-existent today.
Markets closed.
Stock markets were closed. You didn't make or lose any money. I thought that I had read that Indiana observed it for a little while, but I can't find that when I was researching this, I thought that was the case, but I don't know that it actually did. I thought Indiana did it for about a year, like George Floyd era, and then it went away in 2021. But I could be wrong. I don't know for certain. And Zach, you would have not got day off. If it was a Saturday, June 19th, you wouldn't even notice it.
But if
or unless they would give you a holiday off.
If our holidays typically fall on a weekend, they will float the day to Monday or Friday. So, but I do not recall ever getting it off work, which is fun. There's holidays that the state could observe, but they don't necessarily make them a working holiday. I'm trying to look here.
I typed poorly. I tried to Google it, but I said, has Juneteenth ever been an Indian holiday? No.
No.
Not one of theirs.
The Comanche never.
Neither Red Dot or Feather, per se.
No casino, no gas station.
This is going great. Glad we put this at the top of the show. 7:52. So, man, we're doing great. Storm report, Zach. You went out first responder style, and went on your daily jog about town.
Yeah.
As the storm was rolling in on Wednesday evening.
I thought I had a few more minutes. I really did. I thought I looked somewhere and said the storm will be arriving at like 5:45.
I think I had read 5:30,
and it was 5:19 when I started my run. And I was like, just going to do the park. I was going to do 2 miles because I've done like a longer run Monday and a workout Tuesday with the team. So I was like, I'll do Baker Park, and I kind of do. If I do a long way around my block, then it gets me to make that just a 2 miles, because I'm like, if that happens, then if storm hits, then there are multiple places for me to like jump off under like a shelter at the park, whatever. But I come around my block and I turn west, and I was like, oh, it was really dark. And then I turned south to go towards Baker Park. I'm right in front of it because they got to get mentioned again this week. I'm right in front of Pointer Brothers, and I look, and the clouds are rolling overhead. And
I looked up and watched the clouds roll in,
and
then they came ripping in.
Yeah, they were moving.
It didn't rain or really do anything for a minute. No. The clouds changed. I'm like, well, maybe this is going to blow through.
So I'm like 100 yards from Pointer Brothers, and I see this bank of clouds rolling. And then right in front of Pointer Brothers, the first raindrop hits. So I'm like, okay, so there's a corner right there. I'm going to turn left and head back home just in case. And as I turn left, it starts to rain. And so from the first drop, less than a quarter mile away, I checked the distance later. 0.2 of a mile later, I'd almost been blown into a parked truck because it was a tailwind. It was blowing me down. And I was completely soaked. Like, not just like, oh, my shirt's wet. Like on the back, no, everything was soaked. I had water through my coming up. Like when I take a step, water was like
coming
through my shoes and through my toes. From dry to that in about 100 seconds.
It's like jumping into a swimming pool.
It was
instantly soaked.
The wind, yeah, it was amazing. And like everything, there was like a half an inch of water on everything, just everything, because there's nowhere for it to go. It's coming down so fast that just everything was submerged under a thin layer of water. I found it kind of funny at the time because I didn't
really funny if you drown running.
Yeah, but like I was a little because my fear was hail. I've never been stuck in a hailstorm running. I've run in a couple of thunderstorms. It's actually
some
kind of
people
nice.
Fear a hailstorm. Some people hope for new roofs and new cars.
Yeah. I don't need that because they'll total my whole life if I get a bad enough hailstorm in my house. I didn't get hit with any debris or anything, but then I got done and look, and there's like trees down everywhere. And there was like, I was picking up sticks next to my house. So my route was pretty safe in terms of I wasn't downwind of anything. But yeah, it came in real hot and heavy. Within like 6 minutes, though, kind of done.
It was done.
It was and it dropped 30 degrees.
Oh, there was a brief moment before the rain started where it felt like somebody turned the air conditioning on.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, this feels good. And then the rain started, and then it doesn't matter. At that point, you're getting
that was freezing at that point.
But it was one of those. My kids weren't happy I was out running. My wife definitely wasn't happy. She posted on Facebook and called me an idiot. And I told her at least make this shareable or tag me in it so I can put it in my feed. Because I was like, yeah. But yeah, trees down all over town. Some people didn't have power.
I was at home. I worked from home yesterday, and I was really frustrated with some stuff, and I said, to hell with it, I'm just going to go cut the grass at like 4:30. I knocked off early, and I went out and cut the grass in the front yard. And about 5 o'clock, I'm like, because I knew the storm was coming, so I wasn't going to have a chance to do it later. So I got the front yard done. The backyard I didn't get completed. Went inside, and I was like, I'll just catch the backyard when I catch the backyard. That storm rolled in, and I had so much water in the backyard. Everything was under 2 to 3 to 4 inches of water. Like I damn near had like my pool pump was sitting in about 3 inches of water. It was still running and on when I went to the backyard because the pool was over the top of the skimmer. Yeah. It was unbelievable how much rain came down in that little storm. It was unbelievable.
It was pretty impressive. Yeah.
Bones, you were delivering packages.
I was delivering packages.
Oh, a big brown truck. How's that handle?
Hydroplane a little bit?
No, never hydroplane. I was in a neighborhood, so like I thought, okay, I can get this neighborhood done real fast, or
just bunker down.
Hunker down, Hoosiers.
I put on the rain jacket when it started to rain, and I realized quickly this is
pointless.
This is pointless. We stopped.
Do you take their packages and just throw them in the front yard and say sorry about your luck, or do you wrap them up? Y'all have little plastic.
We have little plastic bags we're supposed to put them in. I tried my best. Some of this stuff they ship anymore. They don't fit. All right, we get like I don't know, like a kitchen sized trash bag. Half this stuff doesn't fit kitchen sized trash bags anymore.
I saw something in my neighborhood had a box, and I bet the box was 2 feet long, and it was big, and like it was the size of like a freezer door. If you think of an old 2-door fridge freezer, it was like the size of a freezer door.
Do they just say, okay, you're delivering no matter what, sorry? Or do they be like, try to find a dryish place? Or do they just say, just take the truck home, deliver it tomorrow?
I think the message that came through our little scanner was, listen, weather's coming in. Be safe, think safe. But don't stop working unless it's
but hey,
dire situation.
Don't disappoint the big brown boss.
Yeah.
Like if push comes to shove, don't die. But up till that point, please keep working.
But if you need to stop, make sure you code out the right brake, stuff like that. So
hey, thanks, Ron Milford. He just joined Patreon, everybody. How about that?
Very nice.
Just now. Thank you so much, man. Zach, you're this lady named Jane Burcham is in the chat, and she's reminding us that some people don't have electric. It wasn't all fun and games. A hell of a lot of trees came down.
I did feel a little bit bad when I got back because I was like, oh, and I did wonder. I'm like, I wonder if I would hear a tree if it started to fall, and if I would be able to do anything about it if I was like in the path of it. Probably not.
There is a tree on the south side of Newcastle, that was probably 36 to 40 inches in diameter that came down across Main Street.
Yeah.
It's still laying. They drug it out of the road. It is the biggest freaking tree I've ever seen come down in a storm ever. And it was live, but the roots just came out and it toppled over.
Yeah.
And it was listing a little bit, but it was listing 90 degrees by the end of that storm. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It destroyed a car.
I was out in the middle of it. And like I said, it was interesting, but not my smarter things. In hindsight, it was fun. I've run in storms where it was raining so hard one time around Baker Park that the sidewalk was underwater, like ankle deep at the sidewalk. So the street was under probably 5 or 6 inches. So.
We had some friends of friends that were camping at Summit Lake, and there was a picture that circulated around in some of the Facebook groups. That was their campsite. Their truck took a little wing to the side of it from the tree that came down. Missed their camper, thankfully.
I was a little surprised because that didn't look like Summit at the angles. I'm assuming it's at the one teens. Is that same area where the tree came down?
It was in the B loop again.
Yeah.
And I know that over in Anderson, Mounds State Park has not had power for a full
somebody
day
said,
now.
it is like the person was being a little dramatic. This has been 24 hours. I was like, it's been like 21, but it hadn't been 24 yet. But I was like, also though, like if you're going to be camping and not have power, today was a pretty nice day. Like it was 72 degrees.
Can't watch my soaps, man.
I get
They
it.
got hot this afternoon.
You got warm, but like you got to like
Low
noon
80s,
before it really got warm, as opposed to like the last week it's been, and this weekend's gonna be horrible.
Yeah.
But I'm curious as to where the power went out at Ford Mounds. You think they just pull power off it? If I were the campground, I'd find a way to just tap into the power from the airport next door. I bet they're on a high priority line.
If you're camping at Brown County State Park this weekend, there for a while you could not leave through the main entrance. So the only entrance that you could take a camper in and out of was closed. So the little covered bridge entrance was the only one that was functional. So you were truly trapped if you had a motorhome or whatever.
That campground might be the worst one in the state to be at for severe weather, because the campground's very campy. There's an open section or two, but it's along a ridge. So if a storm comes through, it's going to hit there because that's sticking up. And it's not uncommon to get sealed into the campground. I haven't heard about the park getting that entrance, but it's not uncommon if you're in the back of the campground.
There's still a lot of people that are stuck.
Yeah, they can't get out of the campground because a tree will fall across the campground road, and there's one main artery that runs the entire length of that campground. So my brother's been stuck back there after a storm. Like every time it storms, if you're in the back of Barron County, you might get a free day because you can't get out.
Can't go to work.
I would think being stuck in a camper during a severe thunderstorm would be absolute disaster.
Gus, yeah. I wouldn't want to be in one either. McCormick's Creek was people go look up McCormick's Creek. That was a tragedy there, and go find us someplace to be.
In other news, Indiana, July 1st, right? We followed the legislative stories along the way. Big story came out of Chicago today. NBC Chicago picked it up. Indiana is the first state to approve tolling on all interstates. So Jim Pressel carried the bill, 1461, and this is the one that did two things. It said, hey, I-465 is now 65 miles an hour, which means folks are probably going to do 75.
Right up to the point where they hit the traffic jam.
Which they are now, yeah.
And just bowling pin
just drive straight into the back.
Yeah, just 10 more miles an hour.
Spots on 465 where you can do 75.
Yeah,
there's a couple spots where you're barely doing 5.
Depending upon, it depends on when you hit it, what time during the day. I had lunch with somebody today, and they were like, I'm not worried about the speed zones. It's 5 miles an hour when I go through there in the morning. It just doesn't work.
I mean, it'd be awesome if they would have done this when it's like done, like when they're not working on it.
Well, I mean, it's 55 miles of highway. I can tell you right now that where they're working on the northeast side, we're actively bidding on the section at 31 and 465 right now. You're going to finish 69 and 465, and we're going to add some lanes for you over at 31 and 465.
Like I said, there's no point.
We're just much like the military-industrial complex. We have a road construction industry. We ain't going away. We're going to continue to work and make your lives better.
And that's pretty new right there at 31 and 465.
It doesn't see it. Yes, it is.
It's about 10 years old.
That's 100%. Yeah.
You know what happened? Hamilton County blew up. It's too damn big. Too many people.
Because we couldn't see this 10 years ago.
They didn't add enough lanes because they were being cheap. You cut off your nose to spite your face, man.
I listen to those lefty podcasts, and they talk about part of the problem is you just stop building lanes because if you build more lanes, then they'll just build more crap to fill the lanes.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, you just leave it be and say, you know what, there's going to be traffic here. Deal with it. Go look at like LA. They keep building lanes. What's it do for them? Not much. But
can't get through. Your host.
Yeah.
So that's that side of the bill. The other side is that they did approve tolling. And essentially what it is that they didn't say it's just any particular interstate. Everybody expects it to be 65 and 70 would be toll, but they could toll anything they want. You could toll I-64 from Evansville to Louisville. You could toll I-69 from Evansville to Indy, or Indy up to Angola, whatever you pick. You can toll I-94 wide open. You do you.
74 to Indianapolis to Cincinnati, though, will not be told.
This is your personal,
It's my
your personal
route.
feeling. Everybody forgets that's an interstate.
It's fine.
It's a
Good.
delightful,
I'm
delightful
glad
little
everyone
highway.
forgets it.
A delightful little
There's
highway.
one trucker that tells you that's the best way to get to like Columbus was to take 74 down to Cincinnati and then get on the interstate and take 71.
I take that a lot just because I don't have to do 70.
Guy says, "Oh, that's 10 minutes."
This guy,
to your
this
trip.
guy claims that to get from Indianapolis to
Columbus,
Columbus, it's quicker to go down that way and also avoid 70 on the east. I mean, people, if you really don't believe this, then we keep talking about how awful 70 is. Just go look on like YouTube and you'll find all kinds of videos or Facebook about how awful it is. But yeah, the guy claims that that's the, it's like, trust me, it only adds like 10 minutes. I was like, I bet that's a stretch, but probably worth it.
So
I think it adds 20 from my house to Columbus.
By going south, yeah,
By
it's about
going
20
south,
minutes.
it probably adds 20 minutes.
And it probably depends upon the traffic in Cincinnati, in the greater Cincinnati metro area.
Yeah.
But you're going north of Cincinnati. You're really not going through Cincinnati.
No.
So here's the trick: is that if they do add tolling, they're supposed to improve the highway, which means that's how we're going to get our 3 lanes of I-70, Zach. They're going to borrow the money against the toll road, or the toll money, and then you're going to finally get your 3 lanes wide. The rumor in the industry is that it'll be done in 8 years. So within 8 years of this happening, you're going to see 65 and 70 get it done. So the current year is 2025. Say they approve it in 2026 because the feds have to approve it now. 26 or 27. 2037. How old are you in 2037, Zach? 50 something?
Yeah.
53?
55.
You're going to retire at what? 57?
Yeah.
So like
I
3
wish.
year of your working career, you'll have that glorious 3 lanes
And
highway.
what's frustrating. Now, I'm not going to say that he was like, but just Representative Prescott was in here a couple days ago, and he said that his ideal, and this, I believe him. I believe him on this. I'm not calling him a liar. He thought the ideal would be to fix the road first and then toll to maintain, not toll to build the road.
The road is unfixable.
But I'm very curious as to somebody who commutes on I-70 and is being forced to commute on I-70 60% more starting July 1st. Exactly how this is going to work and how much it's going to cost people. And I don't know. It's like, I feels like this is one of those things where you cross the state line into any state around us and the roads are better. I bet they don't sit on a big surplus. So I feel like
It's really, really nice. If you cross in on 65 into Kentucky, from Kentucky into Indiana and Louisville, very nice down there. So we just fixed it like 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's because
It's very nice.
well, yeah, because
Very nice.
One thing
It's
is,
okay.
one thing
It's
it does
okay.
feel like is the I-70 feels like this redhead stepchild road. Like 69's been like the new thing that they're like taking great care of, and 70 is like an actual. If I were the feds, I would have thrown a fit and told Indiana that you're like violating some interstate commerce.
Your Hancock County
laws.
road, Milestone Contractors had a Facebook post today saying that paving crew finished up 200,000 units of whatever. Took them 4 years and they're done today. They poured the last of your concrete.
Yeah, I saw they were down to like
your continuous paving.
last week. They were down to like basically like a 15-foot section. That was the last section they needed to reopen the westbound ramp onto 9.
I drove through today and they were what's called slip forming, which is where they basically have a machine that goes through and they have this really low water content concrete, and they're building the little median wall, the concrete median wall, and literally it's just this machine that moves really slowly down the road, and it's got a form that's a shape of what the median wall is going to be. Concrete truck follows it, and it just goes in, and it's like batter, just it holds the shape.
So what's the K rail for? Because they're putting
That's
out
a different section of it.
okay, so that's a little bit farther
The
west.
the guardrails,
Is the guardrail going
less
to be?
concerned.
Is the guardrail going to be the barrier between
I do believe
opposing
so.
lanes? Okay, because it's
believe so.
double sided.
Yeah.
This is real inside baseball, but like I drive by this 3 times a week, so I've been
You're looking real close.
I've been watching because there's sections of it where they didn't put the backside on. I'm assuming something needs to go in there. But yeah, you'll drive by and there'll be stacks of the vertical kind of pylons that the K rail or guardrails built on, and then you'll see in this pieces that are and they're bolting them on by hand too.
Take a picture. Take a picture. It's going to look real pretty till the trucks hit it, and then it's going to get torn up.
it does.
They will rip through that stuff in no time.
In like 3 days.
No time. Won't take any time at all. So here's my thing. Tolling, it's just going to make 40 busier. The locals are going to avoid it. People are going to go through McCordsville. They're going to take 36. They're going to take Pendleton Pike. There's a lot of people, locals, that are going to avoid it. And there's some that are just going to say the hell with it. Charge me, whatever. I don't care. When I went to Atlanta at the end of May, I had been driving. I got up at 2 in the morning, left the house at 3 in the morning. Was going to a wedding rehearsal. And it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Been driving all morning and all day. So Atlanta has lanes that you can just pay to be in. So it's like if everything's jammed up, you can go get in that lane. And there's a little dynamic pricing thing that says, hey, you need to go from here to there. It'll cost you $1.50. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting there. I don't care. Charge me the $1.50. I've got the Easy Pass transponder that I need for the Ohio River bridges. I've got it. Fine. Cool. Charge me the $1.50. I'm at the end of my trip. I'm done. I just want to get there. So I did it. In the mail this week, I get an envelope that looked weird. It looked like junk mail. I open it up, and it's from the Georgia Tolling Authority. They didn't pick up my transponder. They found my license plate and mailed me a bill for my $1.50 trip, $25.50.
Holy cow.
$25.50. I'm like, you sons of bitches. I'm
ain't worth $25.50.
Out of principle, I'm like, well, now I've got a new project. I'm fighting this. I'm pissed. So I call the number, and they're like, oh, yeah, you can dispute it. You simply have to mail us a letter with your dispute, and I need you to send me a copy of your toll statement for the month of May, because it was May 31st. Your month of May toll statement showing your license plate number and that your transponder was active in that month. And then they'll review it. It'll take 30 days, and then if it's right, we'll charge your transponder and we'll take care of it. Great. So I log into the website. I didn't cross the damn bridge in May. I don't have a transaction in May. I have one in April with my license plate number.
Doesn't work.
And I don't have June yet because we're still in June. I crossed the bridge in June. Mm-hmm. I've been to Louisville and I crossed it in April.
It out for another 2 weeks.
So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to print 3 statements. I'm going to print one. Now this is going to be a science experiment. I'm going to fight with the state of Georgia. So I've got to have my April one, my May one, and my June one, and mail those together, along with a little cover letter that looks all professional, something I learned in business school back in the day, and go figure out how the hell to buy a stamp, and then I'm going to mail a letter to Georgia.
So is the difference between transponder pricing and just
it's not just the transponder pricing. It's that because they think I didn't go online to pay.
So you get hit with a late fee.
I'm getting nailed with every screw you charge under the sun. But because I didn't log on to pay by plate because I had a transponder, but the transponder didn't work.
So the experiences I've had with toll roads, I've never had a transponder. Matter of fact, I finally did pay for a sticker. And I thought it would work in another place, and it doesn't. So I have $20 loaded on the Florida Highway Authority. I thought it would work in some other spots. It doesn't. So I've gone through a toll road in Florida, and I've gone through a toll road repeatedly in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a brand new bypass around Charlotte, and all of those were pay by plate. They take a picture of your plate, send you a picture, and I'm not expected to pay until I get the bill. They don't give you. There's no website on the sign.
Illinois where to go to. You have to go to the website proactively in Illinois.
See,
you have to just know. So if you're just some random ass tourist, the Easy Pass is supposed to work in 27 states. Georgia finally had accepted it a year or two ago. So I'm like, fine, good. Finally, this is going to work. I don't have to worry about it. And then they blame you. They're like, well, your transponder's probably mounted in a spot that doesn't work. I'm like, bullshit. It works in Kentucky every time. Every time.
That's insane.
It's worked on in Illinois. It's worked in New York. You're the problem. So now I have to fight it. And then they're like, oh, you just have to call your agency and request this. I'm like, oh, good. Now I have to have 2 state agencies fight each other. That's going to go well. I'm calling my congressman. Jefferson Shreve's going to, I'm going to Jefferson Shreve.
$25
or Todd Young.
$25
it's the principle of it. And then.
How much roadway did you cover for this $25?
I had 6 miles, maybe 6 miles. But I got to go 65 and they were going 25, Zach.
I'm just saying this is
it was paved beautifully.
I think you just shut the fuck up and pay it.
No, they are not winning.
Just pay it.
I find that whole system insane that if nothing else, You're from out of state. We don't even have that. I'm like,
Well,
I guess
so yeah,
that's a
I'm like, what are
bridge.
they going to do? Take my truck?
Yeah,
But they'll send you to collections. They got your address. They got your information. So then I'm like, oh, great. Now my credit score. I'm going to lose 200 points on my credit score because I didn't want to pay your $25 bullshit fee when I had the transponder.
I think it's just a lot to assume that people
we're going
just know
to go
a
either to court
website.
or to prison, or I'm never going back to Georgia. I don't know what it is. First, I talked about Juneteenth, and now I'm in trouble with Georgia anyway. So it's
It sounds like you have a lot of family.
We're gonna be-
Georgia, so I think
we're going to
you're
be
gonna go back,
My wife does.
Yeah. Which means you do.
We'll
okay?
be vacationing in Michigan from now on. That's just the way it's gonna go.
They can come up here.
Yeah, that'll never happen. If I have trouble and I need the law to get involved, I'm not calling the state troopers.
Probably never call state troopers. Okay, it's the last person you want to
I
call.
know some good state troopers.
I know a couple good
This
state troopers too, but they're still the last line I'm calling.
There's a story that came out of St. Joseph County, Indiana this week. 39-year-old trooper named Andrew Cossacks. He's been charged with felony counts of theft and obstruction of justice, and a misdemeanor count of fraud. He's an Indiana State Trooper who is assigned to the general headquarters out of Indianapolis. He's been with the agency for 17 years. The controversy is around a JBL branded rally bar, which is a sound bar that goes on your side by side on your SUV, worth about $800. This guy ordered a rally bar in Michigan, out of Minnesota rather, in 2024. And when the package arrived, he claimed that it didn't have it in there. He said it had landscaping bricks in it, paving bricks. And he said they stole it from him. He sent pictures of the package to the company, and the company said, okay, fine. We're going to check with the big brown truck people, and we'll investigate it. They kind of called BS on him. The employee said that the damage didn't match the box. This is a go-getter employee. I don't know how much they're making.
Yeah, if you're a Patriot member, go look at the notes and click on this article. It's fascinating how this guy got out investigated.
So they said, oh, yeah, we don't see any damage to the box. And by the way, if this had actually been sent in there, it would have destroyed the box. I agree, because I had a shank for a hitch sent one time in the mail, and it looked like the box from Ace Ventura at the beginning of the movie. I mean, it was a big metal piece or a big paving brick in there. It's going to look like a disaster.
You know when you have something heavy in a box that's not supposed to be in a box. It's the box does not end up in good shape. It says here that the JBL, the speaker weighs 12 pounds.
According to the court documents, the situation nagged at the employee, so he just couldn't let it go. He kept thinking about the packaging, the box, and the paving bricks, and he wondered if perhaps the customer had scammed him or even stolen this guy's identity. And he contacted the state police himself after the disputed deal. The state police investigator interviewed the employee, who said they had packaged it themselves and believed Cossack's story was inconsistent with the packing materials and how they would have been sent. The investigator saw no indication of damage on the box or even scratches from the shifting bricks in transit. It's amazing.
Listen, people are dumb. Okay, they're just dumb.
I just want to point something out too, that this guy is almost without a doubt making over $100,000 a year.
He tried to blame some neighbors and said, hey, the neighbors saw some suspicious people on the street. Maybe that's what happened. So he tried to create some issues there. It just goes on and on and on.
Well, it turns out he's done the same thing before. There's another situation where they found and what's funny is it's all parts for this toy, for this whatever he's putting the soundbar on. It's like a side by side.
It's for his Kawasaki mule.
Yes, it's for a mule. So he did it to like a cover. Like he keeps buying stuff and he's like just using his credit card to dispute charges and stuff and say he never got stuff. But how he gets caught is the most hilarious thing.
He had a buddy help install it.
He can't install anything himself. So he keeps texting this buddy to help him install stuff. And the buddy keeps coming over to help him. And he's texting him like the day he's getting stuff delivered.
I don't know what's going to happen, but people are retarded.
I just don't understand. Like what's super frustrating about this is I was telling you guys before the show, I had something I returned because I do a lot of Amazon, order something, like whatever around Christmas, you send a bunch of stuff back. And I haven't had any bad luck until this year. I had something that said, we didn't get this. And I was like, I opened it up, looked and said, I don't need this, put it back, mailed it back. And they for a while, were not going to give me a refund. And then they finally said, well, we didn't explain it well enough. They gave me a refund. But the reason why they're doing that to people is because of guys like this.
Yes.
Guys like this ruin it for normal people. They're just trying to order the right thing and then they need to return it. It turns into a mess. And this guy's doing it over just like dumb stuff.
So Missy used to work at Amazon and she did the returns for a little bit. And she goes, people would send back stuff that said was supposed to be like a pair of whatever. And there'll be a bag of dirt in there. Just just for the weight.
I've
and like think they wouldn't get caught. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know what's. Yeah, I don't know what was going through this guy's brain. Like, well, it's fine. I mean, I guess they wouldn't have caught him if he hadn't been, if he was capable of installing anything by himself. Apparently, yeah, the text messages are what got him, but it's frustrating. He should know better.
You would think people would know better, but people surprise me every day.
He attempted a similar deception with somebody for $670 worth of stuff for this deal, and the UPS people had to deliver it, confirming it, so they didn't give his money back. And then he filed a discharge dispute with Capital One as well, in a theft report that the county claiming the stuff never arrived. So I mean, he really
goes after it. He's aggressively trying to defraud people. Yeah,
he's got affidavits all over the place. He's got witnesses against him. Not good. Not good. I'm impressed with UPS and their.
I like the fact that
and their like proof of delivery systems here.
Yeah,
because a lot of times FedEx will take a picture and it's the wrong damn porch. UPS has got it worked out.
Yeah, and in fact, they're like, look at the box. The box is perfect. And they're not lying. If you put landscape, first of all, if you had landscaping stones in plural, it would weigh a lot more than 12 pounds. Yeah. And if it's loose in a box, it will obliterate the box.
This guy is the reason why I have to take time out of my day now and take
pictures.
This guy should have been on the permanent. You have to sign for this list.
He is.
Yeah.
Like if you ever have something delivered to him or his address, he's got to. He's not getting anything delivered unless he signs for the damn thing forever.
If he had that one guy that like did all the investigation, he said, "No, you're gonna open it." What do you mean? Open it right now, because like my picture is going to be you holding the actual item outside the box. Like we're not messing with you anymore, man. And like delivery people are just doing it. They're just doing their jobs.
You are banned from life from buying from my company. If that was me, like you are never, ever again, even after you're done with your vacation in the state prison.
It's one thing you do. I mean, don't do it at all, but it's one thing you're doing cheap stuff. He's trying to do it like, $800, $600 stuff. Dude,
UPS doesn't screw around when it comes to this stuff either. So
we've got a lot of sports tonight, guys. The Pacers game starting in 7 minutes, something like that. Is it an 8:30 tip tonight?
It is.
So the Pacers have made it as far as they can possibly make it. They're hosting their final playoff game no matter what. Game 6 is tonight in Indianapolis. A little bit of disappointment here because they threw away game 4.
They threw away game 4, threw away game 5.
Game 5, they were getting run pretty good, but they brought it back to within 2. TJ McConnell was doing well. But Halliburton had 4 points and was not playing his best.
This side, we're just going to throw up all over ourselves.
So this is the must-win of must-wins tonight at home. And if they can win this game, they will force a Game 7 back in Oklahoma City. If they had only won that damn Game 4, this would be for an NBA championship tonight.
It would be.
So we felt really good a week ago.
We did.
We were up 2-1. Everybody's saying that's an 80% chance of winning the championship. And then they dropped both games in Oklahoma City. Game 3 and Game 4.
No.
I'm sorry, Game 4 and Game 5?
Game 4 was here.
Game 4 was here, yes.
Dropped one in India.
Yes, that was it. Yep, sorry. Yep, correct.
They split.
We go 1-1-1-1 until it's over now. So, we'll see. Tyrese Halliburton's a little hurt, a little banged up. I think the Pacers are in this till the very end tonight, and I think they probably can win. And they force Game 7 and see what happens. If you're Oklahoma City, you want to win no matter what, but you'd really like to win at home, I think.
Yeah.
Like you want to win no matter what.
No, you learn.
I think at this point, though, if they're smart, though, if you have the opportunity,
You win tonight.
you take care of the Pacers, because I don't think you want to you don't think you want to back them into a corner.
No,
you don't want
and
to deal with any team back.
And I hate to say this, but I think our season, I think we're done. I don't think we have a shot.
I think emotionally, after losing that game 4, everybody is just you felt the wind go out of the sails.
You felt the wind go out of the sails there, and then you thought, okay, there's a chance. We fought back in game 5, and then when we just completely shit all over ourselves in that game, that's when I thought, okay, yeah, then we're done.
I don't know. I don't want to put them in the box yet.
I'm
going to remain optimistic,
and I'm not going to I'm putting them in the box of saying we're done. But if we win tonight,
then you think
I
it's
don't
a
want
chance.
to. You still don't want to face them.
No matter
game
what.
7.
No matter what, this is an incredible season, right?
Yes,
I mean, you played
absolutely.
as many games in Indianapolis as you possibly could have. You've taken a team that had damn near 70 wins this year.
Yeah.
2 game 6 in the finals. You got them on the brink. You had them down 2-1. Pretty damn cool. So we'll see what happens. And game 4 stung, man. Like it's just not cool. Yeah, 15 minutes till we go green. They throw the green flag in Indy for that. They put it up. You know, it's a really big deal when they put it up on the side of the Degree deodorant stick downtown.
Oh, on
The Yes Sirs is up on the JW Marriott.
JW.
Doesn't that not look like a Degree deodorant stick
No.
to you guys?
No.
No, I never thought of it that way. But
It's got that curve that the Degree does. It's got the color, like that green.
Degree's
greenish
also
blue.
white on the very top of it.
No.
Yeah, when you stick it out, I mean,
Well, it's the sealed package, man.
no,
it's not.
It's not. That's you just being old
Man,
now.
I guess
old,
we know
kind
now,
of an old.
we know
funny
now
day.
that the JW needs some sponsorship at one point. Jeremiah Scott pitch for him. Just
Degree.
The JW Marriott by Degree.
And if Bones wants to do it, he can just pay the top 3 floors are going to be white.
Yeah.
What brand do you use? Do you use deodorant?
Yeah.
You make your own like goat soap shit, or what
No.
do you use?
It's probably Degree, I think.
You don't even know?
Or it's Dove. It's one of the spray kind.
I use Degree.
I'm a Degree guy. I'm not man enough to use Old Spice. That stuff burns. I'm sensitive skin.
Yeah. Like we could tell.
Yeah. Hell, I cut myself shaving.
The burn lets you know it's working.
Yeah.
Burn is too much. Burn is too much.
What's the new hotel downtown? That thing's a monster.
Oh, it is the Signia. Do you know what Signia is?
Is it Hilton?
It is a Hilton brand. It'll be only like the 3rd or 4th one.
That thing
ever.
That thing is huge.
Yeah, it's very big. It's in Pan Am Plaza, the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a huge one in the Orlando area that I was kind of looking at. We're doing a little summer couple night getaway on the way down to a cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And we're staying in Orlando. And I looked at the Signia down there because they got a lazy river. The Signia in Orlando shares a property or a campus with the World of Astoria down there.
Okay.
They're premium people.
Yeah.
But they had a water park.
Well, how are we going to Orlando for?
It's on because what's better than August in Florida?
I was going to say, we're going to August in Florida.
We're going on a cruise.
Okay. Is it leaving out of Orlando?
No.
Then why are you going to Orlando?
Because we're going to do 2 nights in Orlando, do Disney Springs for a day, and we booked a 2 nights at a resort that has a one of those lazy river pools because you can never get a campsite at Prophetstown. So we got a hotel room for a place on the campus and at the Hilton. I think it's a Hilton Garden Inn or something, or maybe the Hilton.
I can't just think
down in Disney Springs.
I just can't think of a more soulless town than Orlando.
I'm not going to go into town. I'm going to go from the airport to the hotel. I'm going to walk into Disney Springs.
You're flying?
Flying. We're using.
Don't tell Zach.
We're using the airplane.
You're not very Midwest
Zach
at this
drove
point.
that one. So
I took a camper down there.
I'm going to go 2 days there, fly, and then we're going to take the train.
Oh,
it's over. We're going to take the train from Orlando Airport all the way to Miami.
Okay.
And then the cruise will leave.
That's got to be
the Brightline? So this is a part of my sales pitch is we're taking the Brightline.
That train is a Jeffrey Dahmer of South Florida. It hits people like every day.
This has got to be the most cocaine-railed train around.
No, like
from
I
Miami to Orlando.
follow like a car-related person on Instagram who lives in Miami.
People
and they
just walk
share,
out in front of
They
it.
just share every day.
It's new.
Brightline
It's only
hit
been running
another
a couple
person.
years. They're used to trains going 45, not 120. Florida man will cross some railroad
They
tracks.
literally just need to put the beefiest titanium cow catcher on the front of that sucker and just don't even make it stop anymore.
I had some friends that are like, "You're going down a day early, right? In case you hit somebody."
Yeah, it does. It hits people. Like I have been to Florida like twice in my entire life. I am well aware of the Brightline and its murderous task.
So we're taking the full path of the Brightline. It starts at the Orlando airport, and we're going all the way down to the stop.
The fact that brought that up, and Jeremiah's like, "Yep, you're dead right." Like,
oh yeah. This is a known thing.
routinely.
This is a known thing.
Thing
It just got up to Orlando a couple years ago, and it leaves from the airport.
Good thing this thing never exists in the 80s.
Oh, I do actually wish we did like the train thing for fall break last year. I do wish that America would get on board with like high speed rail.
They're doing a Brightline from Vegas to Rancho Cucamonga, California, as well. That's being built now, so I'm excited about it. It should be. I've never done that trip before, and it opens up where you can spend a weekend in Orlando. Jump on the train at like noon, and I think we're in Miami by 3:30 or so. Have dinner in Miami, and then leave on the cruise the next day, and then catch a little shuttle bus up to the Fort Lauderdale airport for a Southwest flight back to Indy.
That's what everyone's always wanted to do: is spend a weekend in Orlando.
You need to download one of those apps where you can superimpose your speed over your picture, and you have to take a picture when it's topped out.
Just sitting there at 120.
You just open up Waze.
It's like the second fastest American train. I think Acela up in the Northeast is a little faster. But it only makes like 4 stops the entire time, 4 or 5 stops the entire trip.
That's the key.
Like it stops in, I think when it leaves Orlando, it pretty much doesn't stop till you're down by Palm Beach or Palm Beach. Yeah. And I think it's got like 2 or 3 stops in South Florida, and then you're there. So, and it stops for like 2 minutes a time. Anyway, that's not what this is all about, but it does lead us into Florida man talk. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup
again,
back to back, and one of my favorites. So there's 2 trophies in the world that are cool, that are like the ultimate: the Stanley Cup and the Borg Warner Trophy. The Stanley Cup, they let the players have it for a day when you win. Zach's eyeballs are the size of saucers.
I looked up the Brightline stats. It's been involved in 149 fatalities and 278 collisions since it began service 7 years ago. From September 23 to June of 24, 34 people were killed in incidents involving the Brightline, which was 44% of all train-related fatalities in Florida during that time.
I mean, so 44 deaths?
It's killed 149 total.
How many deaths?
149 fatalities. In 270 collisions, it says it has
That's
killed
21 a year.
It's killed 55 people across Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties since its debut in 2017. So just in the 3 counties.
Well, yeah, that's where all the people are. And plus, it's only gone to Orlando for like 2 years now. So, like,
gosh, though, whoa, that's
basically once every other week. But they run like 7 a day.
So the Florida terms, that's really good.
There's too many people in Florida. Anyway.
They need to wrap the front so it looks like Darwin's face. I was like, oh my gosh! Like in modern times, like
if you book in first class, do they keep the drink service coming when they're shoveling somebody up?
Just like a red stream just wandering down the side of the window. Okay, sorry, I'll go back. I was like, how many people?
Red mist, the bright light.
Yeah, just paint it red so you can't.
The train is yellow, so it's just if it looks orange that day.
It looks like
why.
It looks like
why does it look like flames?
Was it like a jack-o'-lantern?
It looks like Alex Palou walking down.
It's DHL sponsored now. So the Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup.
It's probably out a couple.
Where do the Florida Panthers play? Are they Miami?
Yes.
They're not they're not Tampa. That's the Lightning.
It's Lightning.
This is Miami.
Yes.
You catch the Brightline and go to yourselves a Panthers game. So Alexander Barkov, who I'm sure that's pronounced correctly, I believe he's Finnish. He had his day with the Stanley Cup, and there's a video that went viral today. 5:00 in the morning yesterday morning, Wednesday morning, he showed up at his neighbor's house and rang the ring doorbell and was like, "Hey, you want to come hang out with the Cup? Let's have coffee with the Cup." He was in his little neighborhood knocking on all of his neighbors' doors because you get like a day with the thing. You make the most of it. You get on your cocaine bender and ride the Brightline with your trophy. So I think he was in the stadium with employees showing it off to stadium employees like from 11 o'clock to 1 a.m. Went home to change clothes and continue to party and woke up all of his neighbors and said, "You want to play with the cup? Because you do whatever the hell you want to with it."
Yeah. It's
if you're going to win a trophy in South Florida, you got to party like it's South Florida.
They dented it, by the way. They dented the cup. It happens
dented
every time.
Yeah. I want to see an interview, like a story about the guy who had the people who fix it. Like, because it gets fixed every time. Like, I wonder what's the process of that. And it's funny is they talk about though that when they give it to the winners, they still white glove it to the winners. Like, why are you even white gloving it? This thing's been at the bottom of a pool. It got left in a bar once.
It's been in my little town in New York.
Your little town,
my Messina, New York. It was in Coach's Corner. When one of the Meacham, Coach Meacham won,
cracked and did it.
It is the cousin Eddie of championship trophies.
So I will say, if you win, your name goes on the trophy. Everybody on the team, their name goes on the trophy, but it's not forever. So it's in a running order. So you're on there for like 40 years or 50 years or whatever. Everybody, you get a little panel of your team and the roster, I think, and the coaches. And it's on there, but then they continue to replace the oldest one. So once it's full, then they roll somebody off. So it'd be like, well, sorry, George Robeson, you won in 1946. Your face is coming off the Borg Warner. The Borg Warner, they just make the damn thing taller and taller and taller. Yeah, it's like 5'3" tall.
They don't let people take it home either.
And yeah, you get your picture next to it. You don't get to hold it. You don't get to take it. You don't get a night with it.
They give you a mini one. Yeah.
Yeah, they give you your own little mini Borg. So the lore of this thing is just there's this picture of somebody's Ring doorbell camera, and it's him knocking on the door saying, "Come out and party."
And the trophy's right there.
And the trophy's sitting in the. So, can you imagine? You just live in the neighborhood, and your neighbor won the Stanley Cup, and he thinks that much of you, Bones.
Yeah.
To be like, get your ass out here. You can hear the wife being like, she's not mad. She's just like,
the dogs are going nuts at this point.
She's like, he'll be right out.
I've never been around the Vince Lombardi. I think I've been around the NBA trophy, but I don't think I was.
I was next to the Lombardi. So every team, when they make a new Lombardi every year.
Yeah.
So you collect them. But Indies was on display, but it was under glass.
Yeah, but like when you go visit these trophies, they're normally under glass, usually with some security like right there. And the fact that the Stanley Cup just gets handed around with no supervision for, I don't know how many guys are on a hockey team.
40.
For a month. It just spends a month just floating around. It's
so cool to take your hometown,
it's
right?
Hilarious. It's hilarious, but I just find it like strange in a way too. That like whoever started the tradition, good for them, because they evidently have a sense of humor. Because they knew that these things. Because hockey players are also just like they're blue collar.
They're just athletes. Canadian idiots or Russian idiots or whatever.
So Eastern European.
The original bowl that sits on top was made of silver. Now it's a copy and it's just silver and nickel alloy.
So the original bowl is somewhere else. Like,
yes,
it's been taken away because it was getting lost or something.
Lord Stanley's Cup.
It is funny though. It's a funny picture.
But
online.
like the Lombardi's trophy is made by Tiffany's every year. I mean, it's got some value to it. The Stanley Cup might just be worth its weight in scrap.
It's what it means. I don't care. Nobody's selling the damn thing. Who the hell cares what it is? Like, nobody's selling their Super Bowl trophies unless you're the Raiders trying to freaking afford a quarterback. I don't know.
I mean, the Stanley Cup weighs 35 pounds.
Yeah.
Imagine carrying that around.
These dudes?
Those guys. Yeah. I mean,
not a problem.
Yeah.
You can take it and
these
throw it up in
dudes
the air.
Yoked.
Do whatever the hell you want to do.
They need the Denali.
Yeah. It's real nice in the backseat of the Denali.
Would you be pissed if your neighbor knocked on your door at 5 a.m. and said, "Hey, come out and play with us"?
No, absolutely not. Would you?
I'm talking about the trophy.
Yeah.
Not
his wife.
No, I'd be like, I would be as groggy as those people were, going, "What the hell?"
But
then you're like,
wife.
"Oh, it's Alexander." Yeah, I'll be right out.
The neighbors from at least the year before like knew who he was already. Can you imagine if you just didn't know you had a hockey player in your neighborhood, and all of a sudden he's just knocking on your door with the Stanley Cup?
Sure, you want to come out?
How pissed would you be if you missed it though? If you're like, "No, I'm sleeping. Don't worry about it." Like, it's that story you get to tell for the rest of your life. You'll never believe it. I lived next to Alexander, and he brought the trophy over.
That's the dude that calls the HOA president. And they get the police involved.
I bet they do have an HOA, and they get fined for disorderly conduct at 3 a.m.
One of the greatest photos I think I've ever seen was the Borg Warner Trophy does travel some, and it did spend a couple days at Dario Franchi's house in Scotland on its way to Goodwood. And he has a picture he posts on Instagram of the Borg Warner in bed between he and his wife. And it's one of the great, and because it's so out of place, because the Borg Warner does not go to people's homes, but they're like, oh, here's a friendly place, we can keep this for a couple of days in transit. So yeah, the thought of it's just
Was that the actress?
It's not. It was the next wife.
It's the current administration.
The next one. It was not Mrs. Judd. Christy Avery's in the chat, and she says that she's in the chat and says she's had her picture taken with the Stanley Cup. The Ring doorbell video footage is phenomenal.
Not
it's on
the
Twitter.
one that they sell at Target, Christy. That's the big Stanley Cup.
Alexander shows up, and he's got such a happy smile on his face, knocking on this guy's door. And then there's like 5 dudes out there with the cup, just standing on their sidewalk. They're like, come out here and play with it, man. That's great. I love it. I love those stories when they come out every year. It was really cool when it was at Coach's Tavern in Messina, New York. And then think of just showing up and showing some love to your neighbors.
Bones.
Didn't take it to the deja vu like Mr. Bones might have done.
Stanley needs to make a Stanley Cup replica. That's a tumbler.
They might.
He's
I think.
Speechless over here. Mr. Bones, you've got a story for us before I get into the IndyCar news. What have you got to report for us?
A DoorDash delivered, got past security at O'Hare International Airport and drove right up next on the tarmac to the plane.
That's the fancy airport in Chicago.
Just drove past all security. So it says the delivery driver's red Hyundai Elantra.
Even better.
Probably an 07 with bullet holes in the door.
Was seen on airport.
And an oil leak.
Was seen at airport surveillance video pulling up just behind and to the right of a United Airlines wide-body jet parked on Terminal 1.
Oh, it's a
Concourse
big boy
C
plane.
Around midday on May 17th. The vehicle stopped for approximately 20 seconds before pulling forward again and then stopping alongside the jet.
Did anybody come out and pick up the package?
Baggage handlers noticed the driver and approached. However, it took nearly 10 minutes for a marked Chicago police vehicle to arrive.
So what was he delivering, and did it get delivered? Any report of the final? Hey, Pacers 1, Oklahoma City 2. We're at a baseball score right now.
Let's see. The driver said he was just following GPS coordinates.
What GPS app was this?
Let's see here.
Mark address is undeliverable. It's not in the app. I can't. I have to deliver it. The Jimmy Johns must get through.
The gates. Dude said there was just a wide open security gate and nobody was there attending it, and that's how he just drove through.
You can tell in the video that he drives up, and you can tell, oh shit, how did I get here? And if the minute the cops pulled up, if I was that guy, I would just get out and lay on the ground with my hands behind my head and be like, I'm really sorry.
So
there's no mention of whether the was delivered.
My brother and I and another buddy were traveling back from New York State to Indiana with a boat on the roof of my parents' Suburban, and very late at night, and we were trying to find parking in Niagara Falls, New York. We were just going to go get dinner and go walk over and see the falls. And we parked. We got frustrated, couldn't find a parking lot to get into, and my brother decided to jump the curb into a parking lot. He jumped the curb right next to the American and Canadian U.S. Customs parking lot for the Rainbow Bridge. 5 seconds later, we had Homeland Security at the door of the truck, chewing his ass for doing that.
Way to go, Danny!
and they're like, we get through that, and they're like, well, so can we park here or not? And they're like, well, you're here now, so I guess so. So we still left it parked. So I hope
he's still just like, can I park here or not?
so can I stay or what? And they're like, well, you're here. So don't ever do this again. I hope that's what the DoorDash guy got. The response he got was, well, you're here now.
You're here. Yeah.
Deliver your your milkshakes from Dairy Queen
Shake
or
Shack.
whatever the hell this is, that are probably very well melted after you've been in cuffs, and move on.
My question is, who's ordering DoorDash in an airport?
There's freaking restaurants in the airport.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're spending more money. It was probably some asshole that wanted Portillo's while he was in Chicago, and there wasn't one in that terminal. So they said, I'll get it. Don't worry, Nana. I'll order it. I'll just DoorDash it here. And that's how this went down.
Portillo's is good, though.
Maybe that's the treatment you get if you fly first class on United. They will, they'll just DoorDash it out to you.
You know who the question this is for?
They can't tell you no.
Forrest.
Yeah, Forrest would know.
Forrest would know this question.
You got Forrest's number? Have you guys called each other yet?
No. He's
Probably like DoorDash Black Service.
yeah.
It's
He's got the Uber Black.
Yeah.
He's got a NetJets subscription.
I mean, like there was a story back in the day. Of,
Wait a minute. Hey, no, you're right. You're right, you Bones. Forrest would never know. He doesn't fly commercial.
Yeah, what are you talking about? This dude is very private.
He flies NetJets out of Indy straight to the
wheels up. He's wheels up, baby.
straight to the Hamptons.
his jet's got a kitchen.
Maybe at a Sky Castle.
They make him a Portillo sandwich on the plane.
Love you, Forrest. Rich bastard.
Should have shown up. He could have defended himself. IndyCar this weekend is at Road America, the most beautiful racetrack road course in all of the land.
I thought that was Barber.
Barber is the new model.
It's the Augusta. It's the Augusta.
It's kitschy and it's pretty. Road America is original American.
They call themselves the National Park of Speed.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous facility. I've been there.
4 miles around.
It's
huge
enormous.
racetrack.
Where's it at?
Wisconsin. Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin.
Yeah. I thought they do this in like August.
That is Milwaukee.
Oh.
Wisconsin is so full of race fans, they get 2 races.
Yeah. Ooh, races and beer.
So this is the thing. They're known for the drinking.
Beers and brats.
They're very good at the cheese, the beer, and the bratwurst.
They have good food. You want to hit the concession stands up the road.
We went to the IndyCar race at Milwaukee last year. Do not regret the decision at all. Kind of have a little FOMO. Last weekend I had FOMO. I wasn't in St. Louis because they had an incredible race on Sunday night.
I had mad FOMO. I've been at that. I think I made it. This is the first one of those I don't think I made it to since they came back.
It looked like a phenomenal race. Yeah. Over 1 million people watched again on Fox, primetime, national TV. Joseph Newgarden went flying through the air, the whole deal.
I had on.
So that was a really fun race to watch. Connor Daly fought for the lead. David Malukas was in the lead. You had all these little guys that had never won races before that were up front. And then Kirkwood won his 3rd race of the year. We're halfway through the season and 2 guys won races. I like them both. I ain't complaining, but it's not.
I was a little disappointed by that too. I was like, this race is
we're going to get a first-time winner.
This race is so random. We're like, no, we're getting the same guy one last week.
So they are at Wisconsin this weekend. Ganassi Racing has brought in the red Solo Cup car, a red and white Ganassi car, which, by the way, iconic Target livery. We talked about Dario Franchitti. He won 2 Indy 500s in that Target car.
Target Chip Ganassi.
Yeah. So having a red and white Ganassi car again is amazing. And it's the Solo Cup car in a place where you just, they're going to drink so much spotted cow out of Solo Cups in Wisconsin. It's going to be unreal.
A lot of beer pong. I do wish it's somewhere in there. I'm thinking how they would do it is that they would, because if you set up 4, 3, 2, 1, that's 10 cups in a beer pong setup, that they would have that set up
on the car
somewhere.
That's a great point.
Just acknowledge it. Just see it somewhere on the car instead of the number 10. Just have 10 round Solo Cups.
If you go to Europe and you have an American themed party, they will get red Solo Cups for the party. Like that's literally as Americana as it gets. Alex Palou had no idea about the Toby Keith song until his engineers told him about it this week. He's won Road America, I think, twice now already. He says he's been practicing, learning. He's going to have the song played. He says he's not a singer. I'm like, Alex, it's a spoken word song. You don't have to sing it. But the damn music video Toby made, rest in peace, pouring out for Toby. It had Larry Bird in the music video, Carrot Top. I think Craig Ferguson was in the music video for Red Solo Cup.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
It's in your
I'm not following that.
It's in your group chat.
I'm not following for that.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a star-studded lineup in the Red Solo Cup song.
Toby Keith had a throw down for a music video.
And it's the stupidest friggin' song ever.
Yeah. Well, some of his One of his most iconic, is he had a great song about smoking weed with Willie that he did on
I'll
Bob and
never
Tom.
smoke weed.
Yeah,
with
and that's
Willie
I like Toby Keith in that regard. He didn't take himself too seriously. I don't know if he was, he had some. So I can see him just absolutely going crazy on a music video for no real reason at all.
Jeff Dunham with Bubba J, Carrot Top, Ted Nugent, Sammy Hagar, Craig Ferguson, and his robot Jeff Peterson. Roger Clemens, Eric Church, Joe Nichols, Lance Burton, and Larry Bird are all in the music video. And it had a nice 69 million views as of February 2023 when the Wikipedia was most recently updated. It's a great. I'm so excited. We're going to buy red Solo cups for Mid-Ohio when we take the podcast to Mid-Ohio. Hopefully we get credentialed by the fine folks over there. And I'm going to leave Mid-Ohio with a signed Alex Palou red Solo cup. A couple of years ago, Aaron Ewert got a can of Busch Light signed by Mike Shank after Elio Castroneves won his Indy 500 for them, and Mike cracked open a Busch Light down on the front stretch after the race. So we're going to get a red Solo cup by Alex Palou signed. Everybody's like, "Oh, Alex Palou." Nobody thinks of him as a big drinker. I'm like, have you seen what Marshall Pruitt does with him? Friend of the show, Marshall Pruitt, a patron of this show, Marshall Pruitt. Cracked open a beer after the Indy 500 win. Their victory interview. Alex is drinking beer.
The video currently has 77 million views.
Yeah, that's great. Check it out. Probably be 80 million by the time this weekend's over.
Like to drink.
Yeah,
it's usually wine though, but
that'll go in a red Solo cup.
It will.
Fantasy IndyCar update. I have fallen back to 10th place.
I have moved up.
It's not. It was not good. I felt really, really good about my team, and all of Team Penske finished last at Gateway. It was not a good result for me in the old Wall IndyCar Fantasy League.
I didn't do well either.
So I think leading right now is Jeremy Carrig. Chase Payton is second, and Josie Morrell third place. Brad Lowry fourth, and Aaron Ewert is fifth.
Keep scrolling down.
See, my wife Sarah sixth. John Phillips sitting there in seventh. Thank you, John. Go see him over at Wetzel Ford. Kelly Plank, the better Plank, is in eighth. Forrest Plank is moving up to ninth, and I'm sitting there in 10th. Dear leader is 11th, and Christy Avery sitting there in 12th. I'm continuing to scroll. I'm
like 23rd. I'm horrible.
Man, Zach, you are rough.
Yeah, but this is how close I was to being
21st.
good. This is how close I was to being good. Last week, my lineup included Felix Rosenquist, who was doing okay, Connor Daly, who did great for a minute, and Malukas, who did well for a minute. But none of them actually panned out really in the end. I forget. I think I had Joseph Newgarden because I have an open seat. I believe that was Joseph Newgarden who I signed for the weekend.
And he went up on his roof.
Yeah.
He went down in price. I signed him. I signed him for this week because there's. I think you can get somebody for 5 weeks, and I snagged him for a while because there's the doubleheader at Iowa coming up, and if he can't win there, then what's your team name, Mr. Bones? Is your team name Mr. Bones? I can't even find you in here. Are you playing? Are you really playing with us? There you are. You're in 31st. You've moved up to 31st place.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, you passed Tommy Oakes this week. Oh.
I'm dangerous
You're
right there.
You're beating his ass down. That's important. Final sports story. Pacers 10, Oklahoma City 12, 6 minutes, 56 seconds to go in the first. NASCAR raced in Mexico City over the last weekend. Carson Hocevar was fined for letting those inside thoughts out, Zach. He was on a tell me if this sounds familiar. He was on a live stream and made comments he shouldn't have made.
You should ask Kyle Larson about how that goes.
He had a statement and he's in apology mode now. Basically, he said that Mexico was a shithole ahead of time. Before he had gone, he said we're going to a shithole, and he wasn't smart. His first apology tweet said, maybe as a kid who's never been out of the country until Thursday, shouldn't have this opinion to talk about anything other than what Portage, Michigan is like. I was skeptical about the trip, and he believed everything he read or heard about Mexican City from people who had more or likely never been there as well. Now that he's left his hotel a couple times and been yelled at, he saw a bunch of passionate fans, and his opinion has changed. He's sorry to Mexico City, consider himself an ally going forward, an example of getting off Twitch and seeing some things with his own two eyes. He got lit up, I'm pretty sure.
I think you just don't go after a whole country or a major city like a monster city.
Mexico City is, I think, the largest city in North America. Literally.
And like every city is going to have good parts and bad parts. Like you come to Indianapolis, we can go find you a neighborhood that looks horrendous and looks like an absolute dump.
I mean, I've been to Mexico, right? Like a lot of places in Mexico. I've visited pretty much every port city in Mexico.
They're fine.
It's Mexico, right? It's the culture. It is what it is. It's not like going to an American city. But Mexico City is a major metropolitan area. 21 million people live in Mexico City. There's like 8 million in New York. The largest Spanish-speaking country in the world. Speaking city in the world. Yeah. When you are a guest in a foreign place, and you're getting paid to show up there,
you don't say dumb shit.
Don't call it a shithole.
I mean, you don't hear like F1 drivers talk bad about when they go to Brazil or whatever, and those guys have to all get like special ops, armored limousine driver guys.
They're a little more practiced at it. By the time you get to the top level of F1, you've been an F1, F2, F3 driver. You've been on the circuit, and you've gotten a little bit of training.
You're a professional.
Carson Hocevar is a village idiot who's raced at Grand Rapids at Berlin Speedway, got into NASCAR, and hadn't left the United States until last.
There's a town in his home state that hasn't had drinkable water for how many years? He's making fun of. I saw that parts of Mexico, like some of the NASCAR groups were getting like armored escorts, or like they were getting escorted around Mexico City too. They're like, yeah, it's a major city. There's drugs down there, there's drugs up here. I have a hunch a little bit of that was he was playing into the whole political climate of Mexico's evil and it's not full of nothing but bad people. And it's like, it's a great country. And I think that I'm assuming they run the course that F1 has run in the past, which is kind of cool. You race into a legit
stadium section.
And it's those fans down there. I don't think anybody, if you've been to any racing series that has a Mexican driver or a Hispanic driver of any sort, those fans are nuts.
So the Saturday race was really cool. The Daniel Suarez won the race.
Yeah.
He crashed his car in practice. They went to a backup car, re-stickered it completely. It went from a Quaker State green car to a black car rolled off the truck with nothing on it, and they completely re-stickered it. And he won the race.
Yeah, they got killer fans down there.
NASCAR just can't shake the Fox News image, can they?
I mean, it was gutsy of them to go down there. Honestly,
I bet the check was nice.
Yeah, the check had to be amazing.
I bet the check was nice.
Yeah,
it was on Prime. A bunch of people watched.
I saw Michael lost the lawsuit.
There's a very Michael
Jordan.
I think it's still under litigation. I don't think they're. I think
they're
doing a lot lot of legal finagling. Like he's got money for lawyers. And he's flexing that ability because he's asking for a bunch of stuff.
They fined Hocevar $50,000, which is being split up between 3 different charities. The Mexican Red Cross, a malnutrition organization for rural Mexico, and the United Way Mexico are all getting donations from that. And he's going to be getting cultural sensitivity awareness and bias training. He's going to learn some lessons.
Yeah.
Guy's going to grow up. He's about 6'97" tall. He is a big dude, but he's also young, and he's having to do some growing up on in the public eye. He's 22 years old.
How tall did you say he was?
I think he's 6'5". He's a big boy.
Him Nolan Siegel was probably getting a little bit of that.
6'4"
too.
Damn,
22 years old.
Me.
Yeah, I mean
I don't fit in race cars very well.
He is a lanky son of a gun.
Cup cars, there's like no floor to them. Like they can put them roll. You'd be shocked how low the drivers sit in a cup car. Like they don't sit like you think of a normal person sitting in a car. Usually the door sills like right at shoulder level. Yeah, they're low in the car.
I'll wrap up my Carson Hocevar talk by saying that he drives for Spire, which is owned by the TWG Group. Which is also the people that own the Andretti Formula One team or the Cadillac Formula One team that's coming along, and Andretti Global, the IndyCar program that Kyle Kirkwood drives for. But they just added to their portfolio this week.
Yeah,
they are buying the Lakers, Mark Walter, for $10 bajillion.
Yeah,
from the Bus family.
They also own I believe they own the Chelsea soccer team as well.
Yep, and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So Dodgers, Lakers, European soccer team, F1 team, NASCAR team, IndyCar team.
Jeez.
I didn't know.
Time to buy the Rams.
Yeah. No, I don't think the Rams were for sale, but
No.
I didn't think the Lakers were for sale.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what you didn't hear about the Lakers being for
$10
sale.
billion. You just, one billionaire to another going, hey, you already own the Dodgers. You want these guys too?
I think that makes them more valuable than the Cowboys.
Yeah, I would say. Well,
it's the most valuable team transaction.
See what happens if they ever sell the Cowboys. Yeah, if they ever sell the Cowboys.
He bought the Lakers, Jerry Buss, in 1970. This is mad money though. 1979. Well, they're not for $67 million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which inflation adjusted is $300 million, but sold it for $10 billion.
Well, Jerry did it.
Yeah, it was his daughter.
Well, but the family did. But still, because I saw a list, it was like
who I think Phil Jackson, isn't that his wife or his girl? Was at one point.
Yeah.
Phil kept changing in for younger and younger girls.
Now they're going to live comfortably in Montana for a while. They were
the Celtics were sold in March for $6 billion. Walter owns the Dodgers along with Magic Johnson. Owns the Billie Jean Cup, the Cadillac F1 team, the Women's Professional Hockey League, Spire, Andretti Global, and the Los Angeles Sparks. The Denver Broncos sold in 2022 for $4.6 billion to the Waltons, the Walmart people. The Commanders sold to Josh Harris, who and that was $6 billion a couple of years ago. Crazy money. The Indiana Pacers leading now 24-17, by the way, owned by Herb Simon, who bought the team essentially out of bankruptcy for 3 ham sandwiches.
I think it was $11 million.
Yeah.
I saw, Can you imagine that? Like to own any sports franchise and you paid $11 million.
I think the Ursays bought the Colts for 10 back in the 60s. And they traded.
Yeah, they didn't buy the Colts. They bought the Rams. And they traded with Carol Rosenboom. With this transaction, the Pacers are now the longest tenured ownership. The Buss family had the Lakers since 1979. Herb and Mel Simon bought the Pacers in 1983. So Herb is now the longest tenured NBA owner once that transaction happens. Looking for his first NBA championship. The Bulls have been owned by Jerry Reinsdorf for since 85.
Did Mel have anything to own with it? Because both of them.
Yeah, the brothers owned it.
Okay.
But Mel is
dead,
waiting on the services of Morrell Mine.
Get on that, Joyce. That'd be a nice little payday.
It'd be a nice get.
Jared might have some inheritance coming that way.
I'm trying to see what the price is that the Simons paid for the team back in the day. But
I thought I saw a chart that said it was $11 million. Because it was like a chart that showed a bunch of team transactions, and the Pacers were at the bottom of it.
I know that they had a telethon back in the day. There's a Inside Indiana Business says the Pacers sold 15% of the business, and they are there you go, $10.5 million. Yahoo says in 1983 they are valued at $3.4 billion, and they sold 15% of the team off to Stephen Rawls in 2000 something, a couple years ago.
Damn, Herb's 89.
Yeah, it is coming down to the wire for Herb to win.
He's got daughters. Though.
I'm saying for him to win, this is.
Oh, he looked good the other night when they had the Easter Conference, the trophy presentation. Well, he didn't look too bad.
Now, so they sold. He bought 20. Stephen Rawls bought 20% of the team. According to Forbes, for $525 million in 2023. So that got you a little money to spend for this little run going right now.
But that hopefully they. I mean, it's been a rough time for malls, so hopefully that got them through.
Rawls is worth $7 or so billion. Jeez. He graduated from DePaul, and nice to know. We'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic this thing works out. I don't know what the hell. There we go. Rawls founded Donner Corporation, DAHNER Corporation, a life sciences company, and that's where all his money came from. He also has a company called Indian Paintbrush, which is the movie organization. Good stuff.
Well, let's go home.
I'm done with this. Zach, you got anything for me?
No, stay hydrated and stay cool this weekend. It's gonna be horribly hot.
Use that air conditioning.
Yeah, use the air. Yeah, I've got air conditioning now. Go to a pool. I might go to a pool if I could take an umbrella or something. I don't want to sit in the sun when it's this hot, but yeah, I got nothing.
Good times. All your cars working?
Yeah.
Did you ever get your wheels fixed?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I would vibrate while I drive down the road.
I wouldn't either.
Fine.
No, like I keep.
They're just going to get worse driving on I-70.
Well, and now there's a spot. There's a spot that's not even in that area. I think it's over by the rest area or something like that, where the road's like a joint between two concrete sections is dropped, I don't know, 4 inches. And so it's one of those ones you see it and like the car floats for a second and then just comes crashing down and then it's crashing into pavement that's coming back up. So it's just like, oh, this is fun. And there's a similar one right there by Knightstown. So yeah, I'm not really in the mood too much to. If I find a real cheap set online then on Facebook Marketplace, but I'm not like gonna spend real money on wheels and tires because they're just 70's not getting any better. So why would I do that? Like I see once in a while I see it said 18s. I'm like, how long are those gonna last? Month and a half? 17's got trashed. I'm not a rubber band tire guy, but like I like sidewalls. So
yeah. We as a world we've gone the wrong direction on tires. But old man gripey guy. More tire rubber and smaller wheels.
Yeah.
Don't go going low profile tires.
Yeah.
Bitching about how the roads ruined you.
Yeah. I got all the sidewall in the excursion. Like it's, yeah. So I don't, no. If anybody does know a set of 104 or 5 by 114.5 inch wheels that are 17s, then.
Mr. Bones, thanks for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
I think the sun's still up.
It is. Oh, that's
I think we're like at the longest day of the year here.
Longest day of the year.
Tomorrow's.
That's right. Like right
tomorrow.
now.
But then Zach starts getting happy as the sun goes back down.
Summertime starts this week.
I like summertime. I'll tell you what though. Summer arrived in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Like just in the last 2 weeks. Like we had a really extended spring and
still quite
it's still quite spring.
But like a week and a half ago is when the humidity showed up. Like it was not humid. We had like 1 or 2 humid days here or there, but it was not bad. But
it has not stopped raining since December.
Yeah. It's been rain makes corn makes whiskey, I think. So we're gonna say it's okay, but Jesus Christ. 28-22, Indiana leads, a minute to go. Mr. Bones, anything else?
I got nothing.
Thanks for bringing that one big story.
You're welcome.
All right. That's enough of this. We'll be back next week. Episode 399. We're staring 400 right in the face, guys. We're as surprised as you are. We'll see you next week.